Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another tier list. Now, in this tier list, we'll be ranking the top 25 wonder kids in football. You can let me know your thoughts in the comments. Please don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. We'll go through every single player. We'll be ranking them S all the way to D. And as I said, don't forget, leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and let's get straight into it. We're starting off with Joao Neves. I'm putting him straight in S tier. Joao Neves, ridiculously talented football player, won 2 Champions Leagues with PSG already. If you're looking at a player that can do everything as a midfielder, you've got Joao Neves, someone who can win the ball, head the ball, score a goal, technically very, very good, a very, very good all-round midfielder. And I don't know whether this is the right time to say it, but I actually do think Joao Neves is actually probably better than Vitinha, but just doesn't get the PR and the hype. I think a very good footballer. The fact that he's 21 years of age, balling it out for PSG is just ridiculous. I think he's someone that is already one of the best midfielders in the world, but in the next few years can be the best midfielder in the world. As I said, he's so good on the ball. So difficult to get the ball off. Very versatile. His passing range, to play in that PSG team, you have to be a top player. And the fact that he's already been in that PSG team for a couple of years and has been the starting midfielder in the big games, Champions League finals, big games, I think he's a fantastic talent and a really good player. If you're looking at, number 8 out there, I think he's the best. And the way in which he's gone from Benfica to PSG, his game's changed. There's a lot of links to him to come to Premier League clubs. However, I do think he's a very good signing for PSG and a fantastic football player. So yeah, he goes in S tier for me. Elliot Anderson goes in A. I think Anderson, listen, it'd be interesting to see how he does at Manchester City. I think he's a player that you look at impressed at Nottingham Forest after his move from Newcastle. You're looking at a midfielder who, again, probably deserved the move from Manchester City. If you're looking at there are areas of his game he still has to improve, you don't expect him to be the complete midfielder. I think if you're looking at talent-wise, he's good. He's not on the level as Joao Neves. Again, watching him throughout the World Cup, he is a very tidy midfielder. I think he's done well for Nottingham Forest. Now let's see how he does in the big league or the upper echelon team in Manchester City. I'm sure he will thrive. I'm sure he'll do well in the Champions League and in the big games. But again, only time will tell. It's a big money move. There's a lot of pressure on the signing. But in terms of the player goes, the last couple of years have been fantastic for him, and he's still sort of developing. As I said, it'd be interesting to see where he is at in the next couple of years or so. But I do definitely think in the next few years he could be in that S tier. But as of now, for me, he's in A. Bradley Barcola, I'm gonna put him in B. Listen, I like Bradley Barcola, very good winger. He's got pace, he's got quality. At PSG, this might seem a bit harsh. The one sort of question mark with Barcola is his finishing ability. And listen, he scores goals, don't get me wrong, it's not the worst, but that is the one thing when you talk about Barcola, you talk about his finishing ability. And listen, if you're going to cost 130 million euros, 140 million euros, you have to be sort of the peak player. And I just don't think Barcola is that yet. I think, again, he can develop, and whether that's him securing a move to Liverpool or remaining at PSG, I think he can go into a very good level and can develop into one of the best wingers. But as now, he's still a raw talent. Again, he needs consistent game time in order to develop, which I think he can get to. But yeah, for me, he's B. Livramento has to be B as well. I like Livramento. The one thing about Livramento is the injuries. I think when he's fit, he starts for Newcastle every day of the week. He's been linked to clubs like City, Man United, Chelsea, where he's previously been at. I think he's a very good right back. 1v1, very sharp. Can play on the left-hand side and invert into midfield. I think if you're looking at a player that's 22, he's been around for a very long time. And I think from his perspective, it'd be gutted that he couldn't go to the World Cup, because that would have been another stage. You look at how Spence had that World Cup. That could have potentially been Livramento. I think if he could stay fit, he would be at a top club already. I think this is the real season of test for him, where you can see if he can stay fit for a long period of time. But as I said, in terms of talent, he can get forward, he can put crosses into the box. I think he's a really good player. Lamine Yamal, obviously in S, arguably one of the best players in the world, probably the favourite to win the Ballon d'Or. If you're looking at his trophy cabinet, what he's achieved for Barcelona at such a young age, you're looking at sort of his stats compared to like Messi when he was 19 is ridiculous. Yamal's way better than what Messi was at 19. I think if you're looking at Yamal, the sky is really the limit. I think you're looking at a winger that can do everything. Didn't have the most impressive World Cup, however, his club season's been fantastic. He's won 3 La Ligas, multiple trophies as well, on a European stage as well. Still won a World Cup and the Euros, probably not playing in its best at the World Cup. I think there you're looking at someone that's going to dominate football for the next 15 years at least. He's already the face of La Liga, face of everything really, and as I said, an idol for so many young players coming through. So yeah, I really do like him. I think he's a very good player. Definitely an S tier. Ridiculous what he's doing at 19, and yeah, I think he's someone that, multiple Ballon d'Ors. You're looking at how he's come through at Barcelona. I think it was Xavi that gave him his debut at 16. Looked like a looked like a kid, which essentially he was. But now at 19, he's matured so quickly, and yeah, he just looks unstoppable. And again, you're backing him to have a very good club season for Barcelona, and everything they do good more or less comes from him. And this guy here, Pau Cubarsí, goes next to him in S. I watched Cubarsí throughout the World Cup. I've watched him for Barcelona. You're looking at a centre back there who's the best in the world. Him and Saliba for me. He's fantastic. And as I said, you're looking at 19-year-old player, broke through Barcelona at 17 years of age, won a World Cup, and was very important for Spain doing that. It wasn't like he was a 17-year-old or 18-year-old. He was a 19-year-old that started every single game for them, and was very, very good defensively. You're looking at a player that can read the game very, very well. Aerially very, very good. And physical for such a young player is amazing to see. And to come through at Barcelona and to be in that first team, you have to be a special, special talent. And I think Cubarsí is. I think centre-backs just don't get, as much applause as, your attackers and your midfielders do. But the job that he does is very, very underrated. And this is where I just want to give him some flowers, because what a talent, what a player he is. I think he'll be one of the best for the years to come. I really, really do think that. Ethan Nwaneri, in terms of talent, you also have to think of where he's at now. I'm going to have to put him in B tier. When he coming through at Arsenal, you're looking at a player there that, potentially could be starting. He was getting cameos in that number 10 on the right-hand side. Ultimately, Saka and Odegaard just went to another level. I think he's been on loan at Marseille. Don't know what the future holds for Nwaneri at Arsenal, whether that's a permanent sale or another loan. I don't think he'll definitely be involved in the first team. They've got Eze, Odegaard, Saka on the right, Madueke. I think the options for him in the team are going to be very limited. So for the better of his career, he probably does need to move on. But I think he's still a very, very talented player. And if he does get to a club where he can continue to play regular games, I'm sure he very well will get another big move. Kobbie Mainoo for me, I think he is S. And this is not United bias here. Kobbie Mainoo is a really, really talented football player. When I've watched him his whole career at United in the first team and times in the youth team, you're looking at a player that's got very unique qualities, very strong on the ball. Doesn't probably have the pace needed, but you're looking at someone that can control the game, make the pass, the skills, the moments of magic. I think he needs to still add goals and assists to his game. You look at traditional number 8s, Mainoo needs to add that. He's not one of those traditional ones. However, I think he really is a top talent, and the last couple of years there's been ups and downs. When he come through and was starting in the Euros for England at 19, then he had that horrific season under Amorim, but towards the back end of it he looked very, very good towards the end of the season. I think he's going to get a lot more opportunities next season, potentially start every single game. He's definitely going to be the main number 8 for Manchester United. I think he's going to have a very good season and prove everyone wrong. And listen, he is an S tier player. Jamal Musiala has to go in A. I like Musiala. I think, the last few years he's had a few big injuries. The one that he got at the Club World Cup kept him out for a period of time. I think obviously the World Cup, if we look at it, wasn't the greatest from him. I think you're looking at Musiala, who's, he gets goals and assists, he's got the trophies, he's a very good player. Obviously plays at Bayern Munich. Yeah, I'm just going to put him in A tier. Rio Ngamoa now, to do what Ngamoa is doing at 17 is ridiculous. He scored some big goals for Liverpool. He's impressed so far in their pre-season for what I've seen online and clips. He's been playing on the right-hand side. Is that the new position for him? Is he the answer to Liverpool's right-hand side problems? I think if you're looking at Ngamoa, again, still so good at a young age, and again, will get better with age. Really, really good talent. I'm going to put him in A tier. I think he's definitely one to watch, whether that's potentially at Liverpool, which I think he'll stay. He's happy there. But yeah, I think the way in which he's, touch tight to defenders, got very good dribbling. Kind of remind me of Jack Grealish, with the dribbling and the close control and the ability to cut in and score goals. I don't know, that might be crazy, but I really do think Ngamoa is a top player, and it hates me and it pains me to say as a United fan. But I think he's a very, very good winger, and someone that can score many, many goals for Liverpool and have a big part to play in their upcoming season, because they need wingers, and Ngamoa does provide that. Giovanni Kenda, have to put him in B now. Was obviously very key in that Amorim system, playing 5 at the back. I like Kenda. He's obviously scored the move to Chelsea for 35-40 million. I think it'd be fascinating to see how he does there. Where he actually going to play, is it on the left, is it on the right, is it one of those inside 10 positions? I think he's a player that's, developed so much, got that big Premier League move at 18, or be 17 when it went through 18. Now officially it's gone through. I really do like him. Again, I think he does have that potential to go into A and S tier, but as of now, he's in B in my opinion. But let me know your thoughts on that one. Rico Lewis probably has to go into C. I think Rico Lewis is... his career's been a bit turbulent. I don't know whether it's last season was a lack of injuries, but a lot of times when I watch Manchester City, he wasn't actually in the team. Whether that was injury, whether that was, lack of form, he just couldn't find himself in that City team. And I know it's hard to break injury because City are a very, very good side. However, Rico Lewis a couple of seasons ago was unstoppable. I remember he was doing shifts in midfield, right back and then drifting in, left back. I think he can definitely get his career back on track. He's won a few trophies already. Whether that's, we've seen a lot of players leave City and find their form elsewhere. Whether that's, the route that Rico Lewis takes or whether it's going somewhere else, we'll have to wait and see. But I really do think if Rico Lewis gets a move to a different club or plays at City, he can definitely go higher up. But yeah, for me as of now, where does he rank among these? He is C tier. Zaire Emery, I'm putting him straight in at A. I really like Zaire Emery, and it's a shame that he doesn't play regular because he's competing, for a position in one of the best midfield right now. Vitinha, João Neves, Fabian Ruiz. I think he's got very good qualities, and there's been links away from PSG. A lot of Premier League clubs have been interested in him. He's only 20 years of age. I think he's got every quality. He's physical, he's aggressive, defensively very, very, very good. Can score an odd goal, can control the game. As I said, he's someone that deserves to be playing game in, game out. I think he really is a top talent, and as I said, I think he should leave PSG for the better of his career, to be honest with you. Jude Bellingham, S. What Jude Bellingham's doing in the football game is outrageous. 23 years of age, multiple trophies, carried England throughout the World Cup. I just think as a talent, like coming through from Birmingham at 16, then getting the move to Dortmund after a season, then after a few seasons there, getting that big money move to Real Madrid. It's crazy, and it's what dreams are made of. Watching him come through, very, very good football player, and a very good person, got that mentality, can score a goal, big game player. He's just an S tier, and he's going to be around for many more years. Doué, also S. If you're looking at a winger that's got pace, got flair, got tricks, can score a goal, big moments, 2 goals in the Champions League final, quality, starting for PSG. He's just frightening. I think he probably goes into the conversation for one of the best wingers in the world right now, and maybe didn't fully get to show it at the World Cup, but yeah, I really do rate him, and I think he's a top player. Pedri, a lot of people are going to put him in S, but I'm actually going to put him in A. I was pretty underwhelmed by Pedri throughout the World Cup. I know he obviously did well coming through at Barcelona, and has been a very, very good player for them. Obviously at Spain, started a lot of games. I think if you're looking at Pedri, a player who very, very good at keeping the ball close to him, as you have to be coming through at Barcelona. But if I watch what Ruiz did for Barcelona, I get the two different profiles. So if I watch what Ruiz did for Spain and what Pedri did, Ruiz was 10 times the player. And listen, I think Pedri is a really, really good talent, to be honest with you. It's not fair to compare him to Ruiz. But yeah, I think he just ranks at A tier right now. Esteval, have to put him in B. Haven't seen enough of him. I think if you're looking at Esteval as a player who came from Palmeiras, expected to be the next top talent at Chelsea, has come through now. Last season was decent. He needs more game time now. It'd be interesting to see where he plays in this Xabi Alonso system. Is it going to be as one of those inside forwards competing with Rodgers and Cole Palmer and Neto and Denman, Gittins, or is it going to be as a right wing back where wingers play? That's definitely something that you look at with Esteval, but yeah, I think he's a player definitely for the future. I'm going to put him in B tier for now. Florian Wirtz, I'm going to put him in A. Listen, he cost Liverpool a lot of money, over £115 million. Didn't have the greatest first season. You have to give him credit, it was only his first season. However, I think next season he has to have a big season, or serious conversations will have to be had. You can't spend over £100 million on the player and have those some performances like that. to be honest with you, a lot of them were very, very stinky. And I think, as I said, the conversation need to be had. But yeah, I like Wirtz. This is not me having to go at him. It's just the truth. I think he can have a big season for Liverpool and have a really big part to play for them. But as of now, I do think he's an he's an A tier signing. Lewis Hall, I think right now he's A. I think if you're looking at one of the most complete left backs in the world at 21 years of age, yes, you have Cucurella, yes, you have Nuno Mendes, but you also have Lewis Hall. Watching him in the Premier League is a joy. Very, very good defensively, strong on the ball, can get forward, put a cross into the box. Yes, sometimes he gets caught out of position, but I think his recovery is fantastic, and I think he really is a top talent. Hopefully United get him. Benjamin Sesko, have to put him in B. I think Sesko's got a long way to go to reach the top. First season at United's been promising. Let's hope he can continue on that and develop and to become an even better player, because I think he's really one of the best. I think he's a very, very good striker, but yeah, we'll have to wait and see what does happen with Benjamin Sesko next season, because next season's the real deal. We've seen Højlund in a similar boat to him. Let's hope Sesko can become better than that and develop into a real top player. Turkey's S. I mean, watching what Turkey does, it's honestly just magic. Is the word. The tricks, the flicks, the goals, just everything about Turkey. Like the aura that he possesses is just insane. And I was really jealous when City signed him, to be honest with you. I wanted United to make that deal. He only cost, £30 million. Didn't start every single game for City, but still registered, I think 10 plus assists. I think, Maresca has to play him every game when he's fit, because he is a really good player and can make things happen in those big, big games. Dean Howson, I think an A. The season at Madrid, from what I gathered, probably wasn't the greatest for him. Played games, but yeah, I think he really is a really good player. You're looking at a composed centre-back. You're looking at someone that's technically very, very good. You're looking at someone that can read the game. I think he's got it all. And then I don't know why Anderson's there twice. Krupi Jr., I also think is A. You're looking at a player there who's been linked to the PSG, Arsenal, these top clubs at 19, 20 years of age. Bournemouth have a real special talent there. Someone that can score goals, someone that can make things happen, someone that can play off the striker, play in the striker position. I really do think he's a top player. So, yeah, let me know your thoughts on, those players there. S, there's some top players there, A and B as well. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Peace.